posted an ad before last night's debate, and man, it was funny as all get out. Absolute killer of a pre-debate ad. Check out the ad that has everyone talking.
If you're having trouble sleeping, ask your doctor about Bidenica, the sleep aid made from 100% Joe Biden press conference.
The best way to get something done, if it holds near and dear to you that you like to be able to, anyway.
Bidenica has a patented blend of confusion and forgetfulness that will calm the most overactive brains.
COVID has taken this year, just since the outbreak, it's taken more than 100 years. Look, here's the lives. When you think about it.
When they sold out American jobs and killed the Keystone Pipeline, it kept me up all night worrying about how we'd pay our bills. But then I got Bidenica, and I've never slept better.
Sometimes when I get hopped up on sugar, my parents give me Bidenica so I pass out. Other times they give it to me during the day, probably so they can do the deed. Gross.
Warning. People who have used Bidenica have experienced rapid lying and an inability to secure the southern border. Others have hallucinated and fought breakfast cereals.
Corn Pop was a bad dude.
Ask your doctor if Bidenica is right for you.
How can you compete with this? This was simply amazing. I don't care who you support. You gotta admit, come on now. It was funny. Trump is the GOAT of trolls. And we have to give it to Biden, though. There's so much usable content that it can't be that difficult to come up with these gems. But after Joe Biden's debate performance last night, this is more reality than satire. And we've known this for a long time. We've all seen the signs of Biden's cognitive decline. But last night, it was impossible to ignore. And even the Democrats can't ignore it any longer. It's not just about the occasional gaffe or slip up. It's about a consistent pattern of confusion, memory lapses, and a lack of coherence. It's a risk to our country. The media and his handlers have been trying to downplay it, but it's there in plain sight for everyone to see. Just a few months ago, Karine Jean-Pierre was asked whether Biden would take a cognitive test. This was her response.
He is not just my boss, but, he's also a mentor to me. And I've spent sometimes countless hours with him, whether it's in the Oval Office, whether it's on the road. And I believe, for me, you're asking me my personal opinion, he is sharp. He is on top of things. When we have meetings with him, with his staff, he's constantly pushing us, trying to get more information. And so that has been my experience with this president. Anything else outside of that, I just shared with you what Dr. O'Connor said to me, and so I'll just leave it there.
Sharp? Really? On top of things? Come on. This was just a few months ago. They've been running cover for Joe, trying to convince us that he's in perfect health, that he's the man for the job. Well, we're not buying it. Reality came crashing down last night. It's not just that Biden is boring or tired. It's about his mental state and his ability to lead, or more accurately, his inability to lead. The real question is, does he even know his mental state? Or are his handlers the ones deceiving the American people every step of the way? You have to wonder, did they really not know it was this bad? Or are they just hoping that the American people wouldn't notice? It's hard to believe they didn't know. The media, his handlers, and his own party, they've all had access to him. They've all seen him up close and personal, day in and day out. They had to have known that he's not up for this job. It's not just about his age or his health. It's about the fact that he's supposed to be the leader of the free world. He can't even handle a debate after a week's worth of rest.
Walking off the stage. The first debate of the 2024 campaign and the earliest presidential debate ever, now in the books and in front of the voters. Tonight, along with Aaron Burnett, the first word on what those voters might make of it from our political professionals, from our CNN Flash poll and swing state focus group. We'll be talking to surrogates, including Vice President Harris.
This is the reason why they didn't want people in there. This is why they didn't want an audience. This is why they didn't want media in there like that. I'm not going to lie to you. This is hard to watch. The sight of Jill Biden walking him off the stage last night while Trump strides off with confidence. Is this the best the Democrats have? This is clearly a key takeaway from Grandpa. You got to feel a bit sad for him. This is elder abuse, plain and simple. His wife is the worst for allowing this to continue. An old man like this should know his limits. He is done. They let him cook too long and left the heat on high. But it's not a joke anymore, I promise you. Does Joe's inner circle have even the least bit of regard for his well-being? Why did they prop him up for this long? What's the game plan moving forward? Everyone who's supposed to care about him should be ashamed. Again, I say, this is elder abuse. If anyone's shocked by Biden's brain-dead performance last night, they should be incredibly peeved with the media that has gone to crazy lengths to cover up his decline for the public. They've tried to deceive us on a grand scale. This is a man who should be out enjoying retirement, not struggling through the rigors of the highest office in the land. Don't believe the evidence in front of you, they say. Well, what I saw last night in that debate is a man who probably can't make it through this term, let alone another 4 years, versus another who is actually sharp, to use Kareem Jean-Pierre's description. Has Trump aged a day over the last couple of years? He's out there running a great campaign, a masterful campaign. In my opinion, this is a campaign better than the previous two. He's out there talking to people, putting out memes. He's rolling with the punches. Trump is doing the daggone thing. He's got the stamina and the wit to keep up with the job. Meanwhile, Biden is being propped up and putting our country at risk. They think they can fool us, but we're seeing right through it. This isn't just about Biden. It's about the system that's trying to pull the wool over our eyes. But let me know what you think. Can Biden make it through this term? And who's really running the show there? Who's really running our nation? These are all questions that we deserve to know the answers to. Like, share, subscribe to the channel. Drop me a comment down below. I appreciate all the love and support. Consider joining the ARP family. It supports me. It supports the team. It helps us put this type of content out on a day-to-day basis. Keep God first in your life. Stay prayed up. And I'm going to catch up with you all next time. Peace.